In this video, you will learn how to use progress attributes to achieve this effect in Blender geometry nodes. Okay, first, let's set everything up. I'm gonna model the cylinder. This is gonna be our main thing. And materials are gonna be top, medium, bottom. We're gonna assign medium here, top here, and bottom here. And add bevel and subdivision surface. That looks good. Now, 3 materials, but they only are going to be different in color. And the rest of the settings, roughness and specular and everything should be the same. So we are going to add reroute and another reroute. And now we select this one and the principled VSDF and press Ctrl G. And that way we can just connect it like this. We don't need the color output actually. Okay, so now we have this node group. We copy it and paste it to all 3 materials. And we make the bottom dark, medium gray, and top white. Now if we preview it, we can see that the top is white, middle is gray, bottom is black. And we can set up, make them all metallic, all not rough. We have all the control in one, and we adjust one, and it adjusts all 3 of them, which is great. Make it not metallic, but adjust it as you like, and we can do it later as well. Save. Let's make it so that the grid is like this, by this. So we are going to scale that one down by about maybe 0.85. Yeah, something like that. And apply the scale. Add circle. Make it a little smaller, 0.95. Nope, it's 0.9. Again, subdivision, and then geometry nodes, mesh to curve, curve to mesh, curve circle. Make it thinner. Yeah, that's about right. Set material, and make the material metal. And set it here. And like here, we Shift D to duplicate, E, X, so it's 0.1, okay. So Shift D, E, X, 0.1. That's gonna be our base around which the thing is gonna rotate. And now let's model the grid, the base for the thing. For that, we are gonna add, again, circle, 32 vertices. Scale it down just to be slightly bigger, or right as big as the inner one. And now Shift H to hide it, to isolate it, and just model it. Maybe add plane, X, only faces. And now here, we're just gonna do a bunch of cuts. Connect it here, connect this and this. And here we can see that 3 cuts here, so we add 3 cuts, and see what's happening. Perfect, and we do that everywhere. Perfect. This is gonna be our base, and give it material, name it base. So we got all the materials, we got all of the models. Metal, make metallic, perfect. Now let's get to geometry nodes. Now we can maybe make it less dense, like this is enough. And now name it. This is gonna be ring. This is gonna be base. And this is gonna be, I don't know, cylinder. Cylinder is fine. And put them in the collection. And make sure the scale is applied on all of them. And rotation as well. So that when you look, press 7 and you look from top, they are aligned like this. And rotation is applied. Great. Now we can hide that collection and add the new thing. And finally get to the interesting part. This is gonna be a little complicated, but it's using the progress attribute like I explained in one of my previous videos. So grid, make it like 6 by 6 meters, 64 by 64 vertices. Let's say mesh to points. We're gonna do that, and we can do the math like this is gonna be 6 meters. There are 64 of them, so that means that each of them is like whatever. But what we can also do is face area and just connect it like this. Like this? No. Capture attribute in face and connect it like this. No? Oh, right. Square root of that. Perfect. And do we need? Oh, we don't need to capture attribute. Great. Because when we have that face, those face area is let's say side A, because those are squares. Area is equal A squared. So we just take square root to find A. And that's gonna give us points with the same radius. And now if we instance on points, let's say cube 1 by 1 by 1 meters, and we use radius as a scale, they all fit nicely together, and we can adjust the scale and they all still fit nicely, as long as it's squares. Remove it for now and get to simulation. I'm gonna use wave texture, and if we preview it, we're gonna use rings Z 0.2 scale, and if we use scene time multiplied by -1 to use the phase offset, we can see that if we increase it, it goes in, so we need to do the negative, so multiply by -1, and now it goes out, maybe multiplied by -2.5. Perfect. Now we need to use it as a trigger, so store named attribute, name it on, make it boolean, and very important now, if wave texture is greater than in float is greater than, let's say, 0.5, we don't plug it here, because this way, if we preview it, named attribute on, if we preview it, it's going to be overwriting each frame. What we're going to do is connect it to selection and check mark it. So in this, I'm going to hide everything. In this trigger where white is, here we override. We press, make it true. But the dark ones we don't touch at all. So that way, when we preview it, we can see that it accumulates. Perfect. And now add, make it float, progress attribute, named attribute, progress, add 0.05. Boom, boom, but only if it's on. On is basically our trigger to increase the value of progress. And checkmark clamp. That way, if we preview it, named attribute, progress, and let's see. Perfect. So that's That's gonna make it kind of short. It's gonna all turn white and that's it. We need it to be triggered to, once it reached value 1, we need it to be triggered to be off. So add off, and off attribute is gonna do the same thing as on attribute, and progress here is increasing, but later it's gonna be decreasing. So it's gonna be like progress subtract 0.05, but only when progress attribute is equal to 1, when it reached the value 1, and wave texture is less than 0.5. Notice here it's greater than 0.5, here is less than 0.5. Very important that they don't intersect. This one takes up the top part of the values, this one takes the bottom part of the values. You may leave some gap where like this one may be greater than 0.7 and this one is less than 0.3, but you cannot make them overlap. Like, this is gonna break everything, so be aware. Connect that here, and that's gonna be our off attribute. And once we reached 1 value, so the same trigger as this one, we reset the on attribute to 0. I know it's a little confusing, but I don't know, it's just a lot. It's just a lot, but it kind of makes sense when you run like node by node. Okay, so the progress increases, but then we reset the on attribute to 0 and we trigger the off attribute. And then with the off attribute, so off attribute, if it's triggered to off, then we can decrease it. It kind of works, but it stops after a bit. That's because that on attribute is always kind of triggered when this texture is happening. But we want the on attribute to not trigger if off attribute is in place. So like once we reach 1, it can be triggered to go down. But once it reached, when it's in that transition from 1 to 0, we want it to also not be triggered. So here on, add and add off, but inverted. So it's going to be off, not, and connect it here. I'm going to clean up for a second. That might be it. No. We are never resetting the off attribute, so let's reset it to false. We reset it to false, same way we reset the on attribute to false, but in reverse. So off attribute set to 0 if progress attribute is equal to 0. That means that the progress of the going from 1 to 0 is done. And if this texture is less than or greater than 0.5. That means that if the texture is greater than 0.5, that should trigger us to start the animation of going up. So we connect this here. Wait, where? Here. Let's see. Yes, that's correct. Okay, at the start it's always gonna be a little messy, so we're gonna bake the animation, and then we're gonna just skip the first 100, because it's a bit of a mess, because a lot of stuff triggers at the same time. But this is perfect. The coolest part is that why couldn't we animate it with just noise, like this? Yeah. This looks right. This looks basically exactly the same. Why all this work? It's because we can actually control it, and the progress attribute, my favorite thing I think I came up with. I don't remember seeing it anywhere. The progress attribute guarantees that we go from 0 to 1 and from 1 to 0. If we use a different noise, let's say noise texture, with the same setup, like this, and if we just preview it with the points, so points and noise, make it this, and let's see it animated. We can see that it's moving around frantically, and it never actually reaches 0. Like if you look at the black parts, it is kind of dark, kind of gets darker here, kind of moves, but there is no progression. There is no like go to 0 and then go to 1, and that's the problem. So if we use for the whole animation noise and we preview the progress attribute, let's see. Yeah, that's the beauty of it. There is always a black part that is gonna progress, and it's gonna become, look at those, it's gonna become white, gonna reach the value 1, and only then it's gonna be allowed to be triggered to decrease. And now look at this one, it's gonna reach 0. That's the beauty of the progress attribute and why I do all of this work instead of just using the noise. Now let's interpret those values to animate it. We're gonna instance on points and object info. We are not gonna use collection. We're gonna use object info and select our, I think it's cylinder, right? Yes, and make it a lot smaller. How small? Radius. This small. Divided by 2. Yes. So if you made it 1 by 1 and not like me 2 by 2, then you don't have to divide by 2. Make sure it's grid with some space, because we made those cylinders a little smaller. We're gonna add the rest a little later. It is a few steps process. If we preview it, okay, now let's interpret the progress attribute. X, Y, Z, and if we just rotate it here, this is gonna be what we need. If we connect it like this, it's not quite it, because progress attribute right now is between 0 and 1. To make it turn 180 degrees, we need to make it between 0 and pi. So we just multiply it by pi. So that should, let's preview it with the material. Okay, let's use the wave texture again. I just like how it looks. And let's see. They all rotate around the y-axis at the end here. Around the y-axis. And it looks good here, but I want it to be aligned towards the center. I want them all to be looking at the center. So let's do that. To do that, position, align rotation to vector, align rotation to position. And if we connect it here, they should be all looking at the center. Perfect. I don't quite like that there is one in the middle, but oh well. So now they all look at the center, but we want them to fall back down. For that we just add, we want them to rotate by 90 degrees to fall down. So that's gonna be, is it C? No, X. Oh, align rotation, wait. Here. Oh yeah, I think it's on Y. So if we instance the cube, Yeah, so with align rotation aligned to Y, you can see that the cubes are all pointing at the center. And now, if we make it like that, I think that's right, I'm not sure. And add this vector, let's see. Oh yeah, now we can see that they all are rotated 90 degrees from what's supposed to be there, so that's why we need to add like here until they align to the center. So they are all pointing in the middle. That's gonna be pi divided by 2. Perfect. Nice. Now if we preview it, that. Remember, first 100 frames we're gonna skip, and after that is the actual animation, what we are getting. And that looks great. We can add some interpolation. Let's add float curve. And now be careful, because you may be tempted to like do this. And it's good one way and bad another way. Let's see. If we add interpolation, one turns from, let's see, turns from black to white, they start fast and then they slow down. You see how it's reversed? And turns from white to black, starts slow, and then they speed up and end fast. It's a little extreme, but that's what it is. So we're gonna need to like do this, and then do another one, and do the opposite, and then mix them, and use off attribute to mix. Basically what it does is off attribute, if it's active, that means that we are subtracting from 1. So 1 is becoming 0 when the off, if off is true. Then we take the bottom one, and other way around, we take the top one. And you can make it more interesting, like more easing, maybe a little bit of bounce back, whatever, play around, but I'm gonna keep it simple, keep it like this. Yeah, that's good, a little bit of easing, but you don't have to do this part and just connect it like this, and that's pretty smooth, that's nice. But if you want, add some easing. Now let's actually add the base, because just those circles in the sky, in the void, just don't make much sense. For that, we can connect it here or from here. Doesn't matter, because it's gonna be exactly the same. So I'm just gonna keep the noise here, take those there, and connect that reroute, and add instance on points. And on those original points, after converting mesh to points, on those points we are gonna instance object info. Let's start with the base, because it's super simple. We just instance radius, and we're gonna divide it by 2, right? Yeah, divide by 2, and it's all perfectly aligned. Nice. And now for a little more difficult part, we select all of it, Control Shift D, and we're gonna instance the ring. Okay, the rings need to be aligned towards the center to make everything work together nicely. I'm gonna use show in geometry, connect everything, and let's see. Yeah, so since the cylinders are aligned and looking at the center, we want those rings to also turn to be aligned towards the center. So we're just gonna use the same logic. This. Oh my, that's a bit of a mess. Hide here. Connect scale here. Yeah, that's the whole rotation. So we copy it, or we use Shift Z, and we rotate the rings. That's not right. We don't need to add on Z. Perfect. Now if we look at any of them, we can see that the way they rotate like they are connected to those pipes, which is exactly what we wanted. And I think that's about it. You can add more floor. Move it a little down. Scale it up so it covers everything. And that's it. Set up the lighting as you like. Materials, feel free to experiment with the materials. And that's about it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.